This is being called one of the best smart lighting systems that you can get. So I installed it in my house to see if it actually lives up to the hype or if it's just another expensive gimmick. Smart lighting's one of those upgrades that looks amazing online, but in real life it can be expensive, complicated, and sometimes just not worth it. So I'm going to install this properly and see if it actually makes a difference. So this kit I've got here is newly released and it's called the Halo Smart Range by Vivo, and you can get it on LED space. There will be a link in the description, and we're going to unbox this and we're going to see what components we've got, and then we're going to install them. The first thing we're going to unbox is the hub. So this looks to me like it's the main brain of the whole system. And I'm really hoping that this is going to be easy to set up and not fiddly, but it looks like a good quality bit of kit, and it comes with a plate that you install to the wall first. Now I was going to unbox all of this, but I think what we'll do is install this first, because otherwise it might get confusing. Now it makes sense that we place the panel somewhere kind of in the middle of the house, like where we come in the doorway here, so we can control the system. There are a few different panels as well, so it's worth noting that this is the big one, and then they do a smaller one as well, which is actually cheaper. And what we're going to do is we're going to mount that on the wall where this old light switch is. Now I have had a look in the instructions, and all you need for these is a live and neutral from a light switch or a socket. So I'm very lucky and I've got this old light switch that is actually capped off. It's no longer in use, but we can actually use this to mount this. But if you haven't got that, you could just chase off, make a little chase in the wall from another light switch where you could put a box in the wall and mount this. We could put this on a surface mount box, but I've decided that I want to put a box in the wall so it's nice and flush. Now because I want mine to be surface mounted, that does mean I'm going to have to put a knockout box in the wall, and because this is a brick wall, that does make it a little bit more challenging. And one handy little tip for you, if you want to do this in a room where you don't want to make loads of mess, firstly do a chain driller method, not a grinder, because that is less dusty, and use a box taped to the wall to catch all the mess. But of course, if possible, try and pick a wall that is, for example, a stud wall with just plasterboard, where you can use a simple pattress box. That'll make it a little bit better. The back of the plate that fixes to the wall is 25mm, but I've put a 35mm back box in just to give me that little bit of extra space. Now we can pop the live and neutral conductors in the back there. We don't need an earth, and we can fix it to the wall. Now of course I should say at this stage in the video, this is pretty simple electrical work, but you do need some knowledge of how to isolate your electrical system properly before you do this sort of work. Be safe before you take this on. And once the electrical connections are made, I'm going to use my little light up Franklin level, which I will link in the description, to fix the plate back to the box in the wall. And for that we're just going to use the screws that you get with any switch here in the UK. But now we can clip the base panel or hub, whatever you want to call it, onto the wall, and it's actually magnetic, so it just clips on there. And now the satisfying bit. Oh, I do like that noise. And we get to see this thing power up and switch on for the first time. So now we download an app called Vivo, and we're going to connect the hub to the app. Now the idea with the system is that once we've set everything up on the phone, that we don't have to keep playing with the app to say turn lights on and off. The system should just work in the background and work seamlessly, because I think that sometimes when you get these smart systems, they're intrusive and you have to keep messing around with them. And this system is designed to just work in the background and not bother you, and you shouldn't even really know it's there. So the hub's on, but currently if we tap on here, apart from the panel itself, we haven't got any devices. So now we need to go and install some stuff so that we can add it to this and control it all from this hub. Now I've been renovating this house for a couple of years, and I've got a few problems with the wiring, and I'm hoping that this system can solve them. The first problem is this switch behind this lamp here controls the outside lights on either side of this doorway. Excuse the rubbish out there, but it doesn't control the lights on my workshop, and I've got no way to link the workshop with the house without physical wiring. So I'm hoping that we can create what we call a virtual switch to control things outside the house at certain times that things happen inside the house. So that'll be quite cool if we can get that to work. Now this first switch I'm replacing is a simple 2-gang switch. And now dependent on your switch, 1-gang, 2-gang, how it's wired, they could all be different. So it'd be hard for me to tell you how to wire your exact switch, but luckily we do get a pretty comprehensive set of wiring instructions. And the very first step of that is to install one of our smart switches in place of the standard switch that was in the workshop. You can see I'm adding a spacer there. That's a 15mm spacer because it's a shallow back box inside this socket. Now, if you've got a shallow back box, you may have to do the same. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my live feed into the back of the switch, and neutral is optional. So we only need to put a live into the live terminal. So we've got our permanent live in there, which powers the switch itself, and then into L1 go the indoor lights, and into L2 go the outdoor lights. Because I used a spacer, we'll need to use extended socket screws, which I pop through the switch to fix the whole thing back to the wall. I pop the faceplate back on, turn the power back on. We can then test the lights work manually, and then I do exactly the same thing indoors on the switch near the patio door. So my switch in there now controls my outside lights and the lights to my workshop without the need for a cable. How smart is that? That's completely changed the game for me, because that is something that's been annoying me for months. Now on the front of the house, not only have we got a couple of outside lights that we need to make smart, we've got this problem that when we drive the car in the garage, I then can't get to the switch at the back of the garage here to turn the lights on and off, because the car blocks it. Now hopefully we can get rid of this issue with this system and make the lights in here talk to the lights out there and make the whole thing really smart, so we don't have to go and press any switches and it'll just work. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the lights in here onto a smart switch. I'm not going to show you that process again because you've already seen that, so here it is. Now so far we've added our smart switches to the lights we want to control: the workshop, the outdoor lights at the back, outdoor lights at the front, and the garage. So we've got 4 different circuits that we now want to control. But at the moment we've added no automation, so no sensors, no presence sensors, no PIRs, no ways that these things are going to know when we want them to come on. But what we do want to do is just add them to the system, and then we can start adding some more fancy stuff so we can control it in different ways. To add a device to the system, including a smart switch like this, all we need to do is find it on the app, select a gateway, and then we're going to hold the switch until the light starts to blink. Once the light is blinking, confirm it on the screen, press next. It should connect to the system. I've changed the name to Garage Light Switch so I don't forget, because of course I'm adding multiple ones of these, and then we have full control of the switch. And you can see in devices, it's now being recognized by the hub. We've got a few things added on there. I'm gonna go and add a few more because they're all the same, and then we're gonna set up some scenes and get this whole thing set up with some automation, some sensors, and things like that to get it all working smart. So earlier in the video, I told you I got this problem when I drive the car in the garage. When I open that roller door, I can't actually see in the garage. So we need to automate the lights. We can control them on the panel inside the hallway, but of course that's no good when we're out here in the dark. So we want all this to work properly out the front. Now we've got a couple of choices. We could install a presence sensor. That's completely different to a PIR, but we've got both options from the Halo range. The Halo presence sensor is super easy to install. We only need a live and neutral, so that can come from a light or a switch straight into the back of this. Then you pop the covers back on. They've got about a 6-meter range, so you want to pop them on an area of the ceiling that's going to work for you. For me, I'm just going to pop one of these in the middle of the garage on the rafter, and that should detect the presence in the garage. They're not like a PIR that just detects movement and goes off when you don't want it to. They'll actually stay on whilst there's a presence in the room. And then just like we did with the light switch, we can add the presence sensor to the app. And later on in the video, I'll show you how to set an automated scene. Presence sensor is in. Now we can set the range on that. We can do a lot of things with it. But the most important thing, let's see if it actually works when I open the roller door. You can see there, it's already detected it and the lights are on. And I've managed to finish off the front of the house by adding some pretty cool driveway lights that are operated by not only a PIR sensor, but they work on the pad near the front door as well. The other good thing is how the system talks to each other. Nothing bugs out. So when the lights come on automatically, either through a sensor or through a timer schedule or some kind of scene that we've set up in the system, we get a light on the switch. But not only that, the screen and the app update all at the same time as well, live as the lights operate. So if we want, we could come indoors and we can just turn it off on the pad. But the most simple and important thing for me is I can now see when I reverse the car in, and I don't need to get to that light switch over there because I just can't get over there. And when I walk out of the garage, them lights, well, they're going to turn off. Now the garage is set up how I want it, but you haven't seen how we set them automations and the scenes so that the whole thing just works flawlessly. So I'll show you that shortly. What I have done is done exactly the same thing with the workshop. I've got this switch to talk to the switch in the workshop so that the outdoor lights all come on whenever I want them to, without any physical cables. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button for me. Loads of you don't even know you're not subscribed. So hit it, it's free, it helps me out massively, and hit like because that helps this video to reach more people. So our outdoor space, garage and workshop, they're all transformed. There's so much we can do indoors though, these little bits that I want to add. And the first of these internal upgrades is an LED controller that's going to control all the plinth lighting in our new kitchen. With simple positive and negative wiring, it's really easy to install one of these, and then you add it to the system in an even easier way than before, because you can see here it's automatically detected. We can then just rename it and we'll have full control of the LED strip lights. These little LED modules, really easy to install onto any power supply. All we've got to do is put the LED cables into it and it'll talk to the system. So because it's that easy, I decided to do the exact same thing on my media wall in the lounge. So on the home screen, we've got all the devices. You can see both sets of under counter lights at the top and the plinth lights. They're the ones we're going to set. So we're going to set those three to come on with the black aura in the hallway and the dining room and lounge lamps to create a nighttime scene. Now we don't need the pad to set this up. We set it up on the phone and then we leave it alone. It's kind of set and forget. I've already got a couple of scenes set up, but we're going to press plus, create scene. And then we're going to create a tap to run. All we're going to do for that is we'll add the task, a device, set a single device. So we'll select the lounge lamp and we'll select that to power on. We'll then add a plinth light, set that to power on. And we're going to do the same for everything that we want to add to this scene. And we'll name that evening lighting. And that will now operate any devices that we selected. We can create other scenes where we use switches, presence sensors, PIRs, all kinds of things, and get everything to talk to each other. But I've done this in a very simple way, just to give you an idea of how this can work. Now is where we can customize the pad. So we can add a scene to the home screen, or we can assign it to these buttons. So what we're going to do is we're going to select scenes. We can add individual devices to the home screen, or we can select scenes and we can add evening lighting to the home screen. So evening lighting is now on there. We can then drag that around and place that wherever we want. So now when I press evening lighting, my black aura hall lighting comes on, the lamp in the lounge comes on, the lamp in the dining room and the kitchen plinth lighting all come on at once. And in case you're wondering how the lamps work, well, just a simple smart plug that connects to the system. I'm probably going to put that one on a hotkey, and I'll set a hotkey to turn it off. So all we do is where we select it on, we select off, and then the whole thing will turn off together as well. Or we can, if we want, control them individually. So we started off with a bunch of boxes and we ended up with a fully installed smart system. So I suppose what better time than out here at nearly 10 at night to give you my verdict on the installation of this system. And to be honest, I can't really fault it. The only little thing that you've got to think about is the depth for the switches. They're 35mm, so you need to either put a spacer in or put a deeper back box in. But otherwise, what a system. I'd definitely install this again, and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it to you guys. It is completely changed and transformed this property with just some very simple changes. So now you've seen it in action, let me know what you think. Would you install something like this in your house? And if you're into your smart stuff, you'll want to click on this video. See you in the next one.